Welcome back to the Madras Motor Racetrack, and it is Superbike time. We've got 8 laps coming up from all of these guys behind me on the grid. My name's Louise Beckett, and your commentator is David Addison. I'm going to go and speak to them on the grid. Over to you, David.
Louise, thanks. The rider on pole position has a point to prove, because yesterday, having led briefly, Naresh Babu ended up on the ground at turn 4, and it gave the man in the yellow crash helmet, Rishi Agarwal, aboard the Aprilia, a race win. His first race win in his first ever race. It was the fairy tale debut for him, and having jousted with Babu early on, he was able then to establish himself in the race lead. So, what can Naresh Babu do today? Can he turn the tables, Louise?
What can Naresh do, indeed? Firstly, are you feeling better from yesterday?
Yeah, I'm feeling better and hoping to have a better race than yesterday, because yesterday I crashed, so I don't want to report it.
Let's hope so. You're going to be looking out for that man on the Aprilia, because he gave you a hard race yesterday.
Yeah, it was definitely hard, because I don't have enough energy to maintain it over the race till the end. So let's hope.
Thanks very much. Back to you, David.
Just to make the point, Naresh Babu had said before yesterday's race that he was feeling under the weather and still not sounding 100% and thinking about conserving energy. So that is the man that yesterday became a race winner, Rishi Agarwal, who was all smiles, understandably, at the end of what was a great race. So the question is, Louise, can he do a double?
Rishi, how confident are you feeling after yesterday's performance? That was something special for a first race.
I feel like yesterday I got the jitters out, so today I'm a little more focused, a little more calm. So let's see how it goes. Hopefully, the best.
Man in pole is saying that he is feeling better today.
Yeah.
So he may be giving you a fight harder than yesterday.
Yeah. He's always been, I think, the favorite to win. So nothing's changed since yesterday for me.
Okay, thanks very much. Yeah. We look forward to it.
What has changed is the level of experience that Rishi Agarwal has. He had done a free practice session, qualifying session. He'd never done a race. He has now. He understands about start procedure, about racing, about racecraft. So lessons learnt, and let's see what he can do to put that into good effect. Another man that impressed yesterday, second overall, 600 class winner after a year and a half away, was Siddharth Kondia. He's with Louise.
Yes, and on the 1600, Siddharth, what can you do today? As David's just said, it was a year and a half since your last race, and you put in a great performance yesterday.
I think I'm going to probably try doing better today. Maybe catch up to them.
Do you think you can?
I could try.
Well, that's good. Very positive and confident. Thank you.
Thank you.
He made an amazing start yesterday, did Siddharth Kondia. He led from third on the grid, and it's a 3-3-3 grid, but a stagger in traditional motorbike racing fashion. So he was 3 bikes lengths back really from where he wanted to be, and was ahead by the first corner and led just up to the timing line for the entirety of that first lap. It was an excellent performance. Arun Maman looks on, the vice chairman and managing director of MRF, and of course MRF Rubber adorns the bikes for this VDM Superbikes race 2 of the weekend. Not a championship round this weekend, which is why many of the class champions from last year's national championship are not here. It gives others a chance to shine and just go and have a little bit of fun. We're missing one from yesterday, which is Sofian Ahmed's Triumph is not there. Late on parade, the distinctive yellow leathers of Arthur Fernando aboard the Triumph. He was third in his class yesterday. And the 1 minute board shown. They'll get a formation lap, of course, and then 8 racing laps. And let's hope that we have as good a battle as we did yesterday. There is Naresh Babu then lining up on pole position, looking all rather either calm or lethargic, depending on your point of view. But as we've been hearing, he's been feeling pretty ropey for most of the week. And as the green flag waves, it's going to be Aprilia of Rishi Agarwal that leads them down towards turn 1. And this is exactly what happened yesterday. In fact, Babu was on a very gentle formation lap, and we had to wait for him to work his way back up onto pole position, so he's a bit late arriving. Not quite at the very back, but near the back, but it's going to be Agarwal keen to get on with the job here. There is Naresh Babu turning his way out of turn 2. 3.7 kilometres long, the Madras Motor Racetrack. The Madras Motorsports Club runs this place, and in trouble is Arthur Fernando. Now, he was late onto the grid, and hand in the air, suggesting that there's a problem with the Triumph. Let's see, does he pick up pace again? The Madras Motorsports Club building overlooking the run up towards turn 4. And just to the left of the shot there, you see the little link road that can be used for the short circuit. And you'll see as they come out of turn 9 where that feeds back onto the road. This is the exit of turn 5. Although that looks like a serious left-hander, it's really a kink before you get to a long looping right of 6 that takes you into 7. So here we are for 8 laps around this circuit. 2 fast straights, plus of course that long drag down towards the long first right-hander, and a far tighter turn 2 and turn 3 sequence. Very similar to turns 8 and 9, which have a flow to them, but you can, if you're really brave, dive up the inside and do some overtaking there. But of course, it's all very different in bikes compared to cars, which we've had for the bulk of this weekend, because they don't take up anywhere near as much space, and therefore the racing lines and the overtaking points are completely different. In yesterday's race, it was very lively indeed. So as soon as they form back up on the grid, we should be good to go racing. We get one strung out even on a formation lap here, as you see number 50 go through. That is Ritesh Sapra aboard his Triumph. 2 classes of bike, just to make the point, 1000 cc's and 600s, and although we talk about them in terms of an overall race, it's really the class results, classification that the riders are concerned with, unless of course you're a real hero, like yesterday, Siddharth Kaundiya, and you get into the overall top 2 on a 600cc Yamaha R6. So Rishi Agarwal it is, who slots into place, not for pole, but the middle of the front row. The same grid, by the way, for both races. So carry what we learned yesterday across into this, and you can anticipate Kaundiya nearest us there on the inside line to make a demon start. Where is Naresh Babu? He's on his way, just gently working his way up towards the grid. And there he is, slotting onto pole position. So he's talked about conserving energy. He's talked about the accident he had yesterday. Now let's see whether it's going to be 1-1 in terms of race wins for Babu and Agarwal, or whether it's going to be 2 from 2 for Rishi Agarwal in his first weekend of racing. Green flag shown at the back. Starting with the flag moves away. That's the indication for the riders now to turn their attention to the lighting gantry, and the lights any moment will go red. We're racing. Does Kaundiya make a good start? He does, but not as good as Agarwal, who storms away. Naresh Babu a little bit slow off the line as he was in race 1. He's on the outside line down in, 4th place as they go round turn 1 for the first time. And Rishi Agarwal it is who leads the pack then as they work up towards turn 2 for the first time, and a good start made by Himanesh Amla with his 1000cc Yamaha getting up into 2nd spot then. Kaundiya is in the mix as well. Naresh Babu has got some work to do as they accelerate now up towards turn 4 for the first time. It looks as though Arthur Fernando's Triumph is now behaving itself. You can easily spot that. The bright yellow leathers, the bright yellow fairing cowling to the bike, but with the bright yellow helmet, it is Rishi Agarwal then who leads the pack as they work their way for the first time through turns 4 and 5. There in 2nd spot for the 2nd row is Himanesh Amla aboard his 1000cc Yamaha, and so Naresh Babu is 3rd, and therefore down to 4th has gone Siddharth Kaundiya. He's got a bit of work to do here compared to yesterday, but he is still leading the 600cc class as they come through turns 6 and 7 for the first time. So Rishi Agarwal trying to make good his escape as they come down towards turn 8, and there to the inside line goes Naresh Babu. Is that going to pay out? No, it's not. Doesn't quite work for him, so still it is Amla hanging on that 2nd place, Naresh Babu 3rd, and then the best of the 600s, that of Siddharth Kaundiya running in 4th place. The Yamaha losing touch already with the top 3, but Himanesh Amla under real attack here as they work their way up towards the end of the opening lap of the race. Siddharth Kaundiya down in 4th position, and Amla has had a very good getaway here and tries to shake off Naresh Babu and go after Rishi Agarwal as they come out of turn 11 over the brow. Using all of the road there was Naresh Babu up to the very extreme of the road and over the timing line to put 1 lap of 8 in the book. Through now goes Rishi Agarwal. The gap he's got is 2.3 seconds already over Himanesh Amla. Naresh Babu perhaps conserving energy down in 3rd spot. Let's see how this race pans out for him. Of course, it is very hot indeed here, and they're out in the elements. You might think they're in the fresh air, but it's still very hot indeed. You're working hard, you've got your leathers on. Through goes Arthur Fernando, fighting with Yokeshwaran K, who was on the podium yesterday in the 600 class. Yokeshwaran trying to get it clear now as they come out of turn 2. There is Yokeshwaran. So Arthur Fernando falls back one spot, but will do his level best if he can to bring that gap down. And of course, it's a fairly long race, 8 laps, a long lap, 3.7 kilometres. Out of the run towards turn 4 have gone the race leaders, and is that gap going to be brought down by Jimenez Amla, or can Rishi Agarwal continue to extend the margin over the opposition as they turn now up towards turn 4 once again? Accelerating their way then through that long right, turn 5. Arthur Fernando through, it's dropped back now into 7th spot, whereas the race leader, with a 2.3 second cushion, is getting away inexorably. 88 there. Sprikuma Gopinandan goes around the outside, or tries to at least, of Mohamed Riaz on the lone BMW in the entry. Gopinandan then accelerating his way up towards turn 7. And he's one that's gone backwards, really. He started on the 3rd row of the grid, but has lost a whole heap of places early on. He fights back, he's up the inside at turn 8, but he can't do it. So good effort this. Mohamed Riaz keeping him at bay as they turn through the right, through the left now. Gopinandan on the 600 Triumph, the 1000cc BMW though, fending him off as they come up towards turn 10. Race leader goes through. Rishi Agarwal then is 2.5 seconds clear of Jimenez Amla, and then in 3rd spot Naresh Babu 3.3 seconds back from the leader. Now is he going to be able to do anything about that in the second half of the race? Let's see. We're on lap 3 then now. Through they turn. Agarwal, a very impressive debut weekend this has been thus far, so trying to extend the margin over everybody else, succeeding in so doing. The last lap between Amla 2nd and Babu in 3rd place, it was just hundreds quicker for Babu than Amla, so in theory he's got the pace, but is he well enough, is he fit enough to be able to really push in these temperatures and bring down the gap? He's talked about saving energy, but the gap is a fairly wide one, isn't it, at the moment? He was 3.3 seconds back from the leader, so in other words, 8/10 away from Amla, but it looks a lot greater than that this time around. Through they turn. This then, lap 3. 5 laps to go at the end of this, and Agarwal has done the fastest lap thus far. He's on a 1:52.374 on that first proper flying lap to try to get himself away then from the opposition. Yesterday's race was his first ever. The fastest lap was done by Agarwal, it's a couple of tenths quicker than Naresh Babu, and now as they run down towards turn 8 into the pit lane comes Ajit Bharadwaj. Bharadwaj then with a problem down the pit road and straight into the garage, frustratingly. So the 600 Triumph out of the race. Fernando pressing on still in 8th spot, and he's dropped behind now Neil Vasishta. For ahead of him, 27 is Neil Vasishta on the 1000cc Kawasaki. Naresh Babu goes through 3rd, and what was 3+ seconds is now 6+ seconds. So the gap doubling between 1st and 3rd. And yes, Agarwal is speeding up. He's done a new best lap of the race at 1:51.5. Not as quick as yesterday, but not only is he going faster, but Babu's lap times are going up, so it's kind of double whammy. One going quicker, and there in trouble is Mohamed Riaz. The BMW slows coming through turn 12. A look over the shoulder there from the opposition to see where he's gone to, but Gopinandan realises that no longer is he fighting with Riaz, who does get across the line, but slowly. So Rishi Agarwal looking ever more dominant up front then. 21 is the Aprilia that leads the way. 27 you're looking at is Neil Vasishta, who's also speeding up and he's gaining places. So Vasishta now is up into 8th place overall. And he is on another of the 1000cc bikes, so in that class he is now 5th. Is he going to be able to do anything about gaining out of the place? The next target for him is 5 seconds up the road, and it's Yokeshwaran. So he's going to work very, very hard indeed to bring that down significantly, although he is lapping quicker than Yokeshwaran, and that is Naresh Babu. So the pole man is not having a good weekend at all. He's not on the ground this time like yesterday, but clearly something is not right, and from the evidence we have from the interviews on the grid, it's with him just not feeling good. And so Naresh Babu, having been getting slower and slower, calls it a day. And these races put on for the bike riders for a bit of fun. Have certainly not been for Narish. He's been feeling pretty grotty health-wise over the course of the weekend. And as the marshals go across to help him, Babu is out of the race. The pit lane, everybody looks at the big screens and now sees Rishi Agarwal dominant up front. He's already on to lap number 5. He's got 4 of them in the book, and he leads by 7.9 seconds. Now, what is happening behind is that second and third, the gap's coming down a little bit, because although it wasn't as good a start today as yesterday, Siddhartha Kaundia is getting much, much quicker. So there in the background is Himanish Ambler. But have a look behind him, because there, look, coming into shot is Kaundia, and it's only a 600 bike compared to the 1000s ahead of him, but he's actually quicker than Himanish Ambler. So could he yet there do what he did yesterday and take second place overall? This is the one to watch now. Kaundia fighting his way up towards turn 4. He's way ahead of Vishwadev Muliran in his class, but Muliran likewise is falling away, not lapping as fast as the class leader. So he's secure up front for a second class win, barring a disaster. But can he get second place overall after an 18-month layoff? The Yamaha R6, the machine under Siddhartha Kaundia, as he turns now up towards turn 7. Down he comes towards turn 8, all on his own. Further back, by the way, Vasishta has taken another second out of Yokoshwaran, so 6th place might yet be on the cards, and that now becomes the 3rd place in class they're fighting over. So with the demise of Babu, suddenly a podium could be on for Vasishta if he can displace Yokoshwaran. Got to catch him first, I'll grant you, but it is possible just in the remaining time. The gap's coming down a little bit. So there you've got the 600 class leader, Siddhartha Kaundia, coming up to turn 11. The leader goes by, the Aprilia howls past the pits, and so 5 laps are in the book from Rishi Agarwal. Second place, Himanish Ambler goes through. That gap is now 9.9 seconds. And there, look, Vasishta is up with Yokoshwaran. Well, that's an amazing lap that he's managed to turn in, because he was about 4 seconds back. And now Vasishta is right on the tail of Yokoshwaran. So as they accelerate their way up through turn 11, how long will it be before Vasishta is in a position whereby he can make that attack? Out of turn 12, now onto the start straight they come. Past the pits, the gap between them is now just 0.2 of a second. Vasishta goes by, picks up the place, and easily storms through on the run into turn 1. So Vasishta goes charging through, picks up the place, and that means now that Yokoshwaran, given how much time he lost in a lap, must have a problem. There's nothing he could do to retaliate there against Vasishta. So Neil Vasishta takes the place, takes 6th, 3rd in class, but Yokoshwaran, having lost 4 seconds in a lap, now having lost that place, is he going to fall away? Yes, he is. I thought for a moment he might just be staying with him, but there, look, where it comes to grunt in a straight line, as he did on the pit straight, so he starts to fall back. So Neil Vasishta on the Kawasaki, the man from Bangalore, pulling clear now of Yokoshwaran. Kawasaki rider might yet then be caught by Arthur Fernando before the end. Let's see, he's taking with him Sri Kumar Gopinathan. So Fernando, 23 there, on the Triumph, has got Gopinathan tucked up with him as they battle their way through. One from the second row, one from the third row, running further down than you might anticipate, really, out of sequence, but both of them on 600 Triumphs. Gopinathan 88, closing on Arthur Fernando as they turn through turn 8 once more. The leader goes by, 6 laps are in the book, and 11 seconds is the advantage that he's got now, with Ambler still being caught, but not by a significant amount that time, by Kaundia for second place. So maybe that battle's not quite going to come alive after all. It's coming alive here, though, as round the outside, Yokoshwaran fights back against Neil Vasishta. So this, remember, is for 6th overall, and the last podium place in the 1000cc class. Vasishta then hangs on to it, but makes you wonder what was going on with Yokoshwaran. A very, very slow lap, lost the place. Well, Vasishta stormed past him in a straight line here a lap ago. This time, Yokoshwaran fights back and goes for the inside. He couldn't quite get level in time, but he's not taking it lying down, is he? Ahead of them, it's Ritesh Thapra, who is 3rd in the 600 category. As up towards turn 2, Yokoshwaran breaks late, dives through and takes the place back again. On the power. Vasishta looks across, goes for the inside line at turn 3, can't do it. So Yokoshwaran, having fallen away, having lost a whole wheelbarrow full of time, is now not only back on the pace, but back ahead of Vasishta, and therefore back on the podium within the 1000cc class. A lap and a half to run. Vasishta using more of the road as they head up towards turn 4, this fast straight. Then you hit the brakes for the tight left, let it turn, takes you to turn 5, another of those long right-handers at the top of the lap. Rishi Agarwal, by the way, remember him, still dominating up front, 11.6 seconds to the good, and heading for win number 2 of the weekend as the riders accelerates for the other place in the top 6 out of turn 6 to 7. There's Arthur Fernando down in 8th place now, and Yokoshwaran, having got himself back ahead of Neil Vasishta, tries to edge clear once more. Vasishta then, having had the place, lost the place, desperately wants it back. The race leader has gone by onto the last lap now as you're looking at the fight for 6th coming down towards turns 8 and 9. Is Vasishta going to get close enough to challenge? He's almost there, but not quite. A good ride by the race leader though, Rishi Agarwal, remember, with precious little racing experience, doing a remarkable job, and he accelerates for the final time up towards turn 4. Fastest lap of the race and a race win to boot. It's hard to gauge just how good he's going to be for this season because, as I said earlier on, with many of last year's National Championship class winners not here, you can't really put him in context of the regular pace setters, the regular winners, but on the evidence of speed here and of the fact that he's been error-free, it's been a very impressive debut indeed, so it's going to be interesting to see how he fares during the course of a full Indian National Championship season in the 1000cc class. Comes down towards the right-hander at turn 8. He cranks the bike over. Rests his balance, moves across for the left at turn 9. Feeds in the power, accelerates away. Now down through turn 10 for the final time. Rishi Agarwal then, the only Aprilia in the entry. It has been well ridden all weekend. Maybe just a tiny error at turn 11 there, but he wheelies his way over the brow and he's already celebrating as he comes into turn 12. A tremendous debut weekend then in the Podium Superbikes doubleheader for Rishi Agarwal, who wins race 2 here at the Madras Motor Racetrack. He comes across the line and starts to celebrate straight away. An excellent ride that has been by him. He will end up where? Let's see how far ahead of Himanish Amla, who comes through now. That margin nearly 13 seconds, 12.919 seconds between the pair. And for third, thinking, where's my class rival gone? Siddharth Kawandiya comes through, a dominant ride in the 600s, just like yesterday. Class rival Vishwadev Muliharan is going to be second, and then Ritesh Sapra third. That's how they run in the 600s. Over the timing line comes Muliharan. Sapra will be next. And then it should either be Yokoshwaran or Vasishta, and it's Yokoshwaran well clear of Vasishta once more for 6th place. So curious as to what happened for, say, a lap and a half for Yokoshwaran, but he certainly regrouped and comes through to round out the top 6 and round out the podium in the 1000cc category ahead of Neil Vasishta with the Kawasaki, and then in 8th place Arthur Fernando's triumph ahead of the similar bike, the 600 of Sri Kumar Gopinadan, and the top 10 should be rounded out by Vijaya Balaji. We lost, of course, Mohamed Riaz, Naresh Babu and Ajit Bharawaj very early on in that race. So the riders will make their way round to Parc Ferme. And then we will have the podium celebrations, but an excellent ride again by Rishi Agarwal. It's a natural, doesn't he, in this environment? And it's going to be fascinating, as I said during the race, to see how he fares in a full championship season now. Himanish Amla second, and a class-winning Siddharth Kawandiya in third. Confirmation then of the way they came across the line. Rishi Agarwal winning by 12.919 seconds from Himanish Amla, and then to win the 600s, Siddharth Kawandiya on the Yamaha. Fourth, another of the 600 bikes, Vishwadev Muliharan, ahead of Ritesh Sapra, also in the 600s, and so the last podium finisher within the 1000cc category is 6th overall, and that is Yokeshwaran K. So 2 more races, not for the bikes, but for cars, still to come here at the Madras Motor Racetrack. The Indian Touring Car Championship and the final race of the MRF Challenge still to come, but the two-wheel action has certainly been impressive this weekend, and it always gives those from a car racing background another feature of their race and weekend to see a different discipline of motorsport, and it's certainly been enjoyed by everybody, especially Rishi Agarwal then, who takes win number 2 in only his 2nd ever race. Very, very impressive indeed. The team straight over to congratulate him. And as Siddharth Koendia arrives behind, also you've got, as is the top 3 in each of the classes, Vishwadev Murhiran is there. That's Himanesh Amla being congratulated for 2nd overall, and hence 2nd in the 1000cc class. There is Ritesh Sapra, more cheers, in 5th overall and 3rd of the 600s home. Siddharth Koendia being congratulated, and the riders in due course will make their way over to the presentation area. Now let's try and hear from our race winner. Another amazing ride by Rishi Agarwal. Louise, what a weekend he's had.
It certainly has been a superb opening weekend for you, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. You know what they say, beginner's luck, I guess.
How was it to be out there?
I felt a lot more confident today. I got a good start, which I didn't get yesterday. And then once I was in front, I just wanted to keep my head down and just keep going.
And what are you thinking about for the rest of the season now? This is your first weekend, race weekend.
I haven't thought about that yet. I just want to enjoy this now and then maybe think about that later.
Okay, I'll let you celebrate with your team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But it's going to be interesting, isn't it, for sure, to see how well he will go. Rishi Agarwal then the winner, 12 seconds, nearly 13 seconds to the good from Himanesh Amla, and then a class-winning Siddharth Koendia taking 3rd position. So the riders talking to their team, and let's hear from the 600 winner, another double for Siddharth Koendia.
Well, it looks like he's had a really tough race, but I think one of his friends has just poured water all over Siddharth. That was a great performance again this weekend.
Thank you.
Tell us how that race was for you.
I had a bad start and then a couple of mistakes, but then had it catching up back. Vishwadev happened to overtake me, and then managed to get my spot back. But then the 1000cc guys had pulled over quite a distance. It was a little difficult to fight back.
Okay, so you're looking at the negatives, but you've got to take the positive. It was still a good performance.
Yeah, positively, yes, it was a good performance, and I'm happy to be first again in the 600cc class.
What else are you going to do now? Because it's been a year and a half since you last competed. So after this weekend, what's next?
Next, I'm going to get back to my fitness, and which is very crucial, because by the end of the 7th lap, 8th lap, it kind of gets a little difficult because the heat and the suit and the bike and the G-force, and it's quite a lot.
So pretty demanding. Thanks very much.
So well done, Siddharth Koendia. There is Yokeshwaran, who shortly will make his way to the podium for, in the end, 3rd in the 1000cc class. And he had to work hard for that because he had that very busy battle with Neil Vasishta. So handshakes all round. And as Yokeshwaran takes off his crash helmet, let's have a look at the highlights of race 2. An excellent start by Rishi Agarwal, and he was the man that hit the front ahead of Siddharth Koendia going down towards turn 1, with Himanesh Amla up to 3rd and Naresh Babu then dropping back into 4th spot. Battles at the back of the pack, as well as Mohamed Riaz was busy squabbling with Sri Kumar Gopinathan. Babu tried to get himself onto terms with Amla for 2nd place, but it just never really clicked. And under the weather, Naresh Babu falling away and eventually dropping out of the race. Neil Vasishta was on a charge though. He hacked into the margin to Yokeshwaran, got ahead of him with a demon pass on pure grunt in a straight line, only for Yokeshwaran to fight back and retake the place. No dramas though for Rishi Agarwal. He was the man up front in the overall situation and leading the 1000cc bikes, 600 honours, heading the way of Siddharth Koendia. man in his first weekend of racing, though. Rishi Agarwal, hugely impressive. Nobody to trouble him. Vasishta ahead of Yokoshwaran at the end of the pit straight, but not for long, as Yokoshwaran was soon back on his case. And a lap later was able to fight his way back through at turn 2. But for Agarwal, victory was just around the corner. 2 races, 2 wins, 2 fastest laps. He hadn't taken pole after qualifying. That's the only potential blot on an otherwise unmarked copybook. A perfect weekend almost for Rishi Agarwal, but 2 race wins will stick in his memory for a long, long time. Rishi Agarwal, winner of both Podium Superbike races. And so now we have the podium ready, and the riders very shortly will be called forward.
Mr. T.T. Varadarajan, Chairman and Managing Director, Podium Appliances.
So Mr. Rajaram from Podium Appliances called up to
Mr.
the
Dylan Cole from
podium.
the California Superbike School.
And we also have the California Superbike School represented on the podium as well.
We will start with the 1000cc.
Which has an input into rider training here at the circuit.
In third place,
So the riders
from Bengaluru,
called forward.
From Coimbatore, competition number 6.
And the 1000cc podium underway first of all. So it is Coimbatore's Yokoshwaran who steps forward. He's only just had time to take off his helmet, put his sunnies on, but he's there. And third position it is for Yokoshwaran. Receives the trophy.
In second place,
Second of
from
the
Bengaluru,
1000cc bikes, it is Himanish Amla who steps forward. After a second in class yesterday, he's repeated the feat today. But no argument about the race winner. An excellent performance, and I keep saying it, but for a man in his first weekend of racing, Rishi Agarwal takes a second win of the weekend. Lots of applause from those that recognise what an effort that has been from somebody new to bike racing, new to competition. Rishi Agarwal then receives his trophy, holds it in the air, a happy man, somewhat bemused almost by all of this, not quite taking it all in yet, but it's this easy. You just rock up and win races. Well, I'm sure the rest of his season will get tougher, but he's certainly shown the potential and the ability that he has.
moving on.
The Aprilia then
to the
takes
600cc
victory,
category.
and now the 600cc brigade will be brought forward. Another
In third
class
place,
win for Siddharth Kaundia, and he was a long way clear in the end, getting on for, what, 8.5 seconds ahead of Vishwadev Muneeran. But Ritesh Sapri is the man who is third today in the 600s, and he steps forward onto the podium then. Receives the trophy, and a job well done from Ritesh Sapra.
In second place
is the Yamaha of Vishwadev Muneeran, who steps forward. He had him on the podium yesterday as well. So a good, consistent weekend for Muneeran.
The winner from
So the
Bengaluru,
Coimbatore rider takes second, but back after an absence of, what, 18 months or so. Siddharth Kaundia it is who takes a second win of the weekend. The Yamaha rider for the top step of the podium. And the Bangalore man happy indeed as he makes his way then to the top step, receives the biggest trophy of all, holds it in the air. And Siddharth Kaundia, along with Rishi Agarwal, celebrating 2 wins from 2 this weekend.
Congratulations, winners, and thank you to everybody.
So congratulations to the top 3 in each of the classes. The riders leave the podium now, and down in the pit lane the teams can start their celebrations. We will take a break and be back for the Indian Touring Car race very shortly. For now, from Louise Beckett and David Addison, see you later.